Is it getting me? Have you got me? Okay, so today we're gonna make homemade chocolate, and it's a really easy recipe, okay? So I don't have any affiliation with this product. It's just called cocoa butter. So you can get that at any health food shop. I haven't really tried the supermarket, but this one's all organic and, you know, good for you. So anyway, what we're going to do is, you got to bring the camera down because it's going to look funny. I've got someone helping me with the camera work and they're learning. So just lift it up. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So basically, you've got to melt the cocoa butter. So you put the flame, and now I've got it in the middle of this at the moment because we don't have a proper setup at home, but just for this cooking show we're just making it up now. Got to move the camera up so we don't burn the camera. Okay, thank you. So basically what we're going to use probably about most of this. Put the cocoa butter in the pan. Look, this one was about 500 grams, so there's about 250 grams in there. So you'll see how much you can make out of it, all right? So you put the cocoa butter in there, and you basically melt it. So I'm not going to put the whole pack, so there was about 250 grams, so I'm going to put about half of that, so about 125 grams. And if you put it on a very low heat, this will just start to melt. Try and keep the camera straight. Thank you. So as you can see, the cocoa butter is starting to melt, which is great. I'll show you. I'll just get a spoon, and you start to see it, right? So you start. It melts pretty quickly. So you don't want to overheat this. Keep the camera straight, please. Thank you. So you can start to see it melting. We don't want it to boil or anything like that. So once it becomes clear, we will turn the heat off. So just keep stirring it. Shouldn't take that long. Probably take a couple of minutes at most. Okay, I probably should have used a wooden spoon for this because it's a non-stick pot, but this is a really quick way to make chocolate at home. The next thing, while that's melting, just show you this, and this is cocoa powder. You can get this at any health food shop. Basically, we don't want too much of that either. I'm not giving fixed quantities because you can put more cocoa to suit your taste. It can be a bit darker or a bit lighter. We're not going to put any milk in this or anything to soften it down. So just put less cocoa to make it kind of a lighter chocolate. Okay. Alright, so don't move that, just move it, keep it exactly there. Okay. Alright, so basically get a tablespoon, heaped tablespoon of cocoa, and that's all you need. If you put any more, it's going to get too dark. Alright, put that in there, turn the heat off because it's all melted now. And you can see it starting to go dark. Okay, don't move the camera. I'm just going to get the special ingredients, which is going to give it the taste we want. Now, if you don't like sugar, I use something like this. Ignore the brand names. So it's Canadian maple syrup. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons. Now that might seem like a lot, however you're going to get a really dark, kind of a dark cocoa taste if you don't put enough of this. If you're trying to avoid sugar, you can put stevia. It doesn't give the same taste. If you're familiar with stevia, it does have that kind of aftertaste, so you will get that, but if that's the only alternative you have, you can. Now once you put it in, you need to whisk it a little bit. Now the best way to do that is with a fork. Let's grab a fork and basically just whisk that. What that does is that will mix the maple syrup in. Otherwise what happens is the maple syrup will sink to the bottom when you put it in the fridge or freezer. So what I'm going to do now is quickly just give it a bit of a taste. And it feels like it needs a tad more maple syrup. It's still a little bit dark, so I'm just going to put in, that's probably about another tablespoon. So there's no exact quantities I've used. The first time I tried this recipe, it didn't work at all. So you need to experiment a little bit when doing this. So now it's perfect. So now you can basically put enough sugar to taste. I will just grab something to put it into the molds. So I'm going to bring the mold over here. We'll put it over here. These aren't hot. So if you can come over here, just bring the camera there. So these molds are pretty big. If you've got smaller molds, use those, my suggestion, because these chocolates are going to become huge, but these are all we had right now to show this demonstration. Basically put it into the mold like that. Now it goes all liquidy. So it's a simple job of putting it all in like that. Sometimes we don't make enough to fit the molds, but I think we'll probably just get there today. Just a little bit of advice to the camera person: if you move the camera, it takes it out of view. This is both a cooking show and a camera demonstration show. Okay. Alright, we've almost run out of the mix. Okay, a few more. So we're probably not going to quite get there, but that's okay. We'll have one spoon for each. Just pour that one in. Now the final step, and you're not going to see the chocolate today, but we will bring it out tomorrow. It only takes probably about 10 or 15 minutes. However, we take this and we put this, if you want a quick, for it to go hard quick, you put it in the freezer, or you can put it in the fridge. I generally put it in the freezer regardless. So put that in the freezer, and then I will show you the final product of what the chocolate looks like tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so this is it. This is the chocolate today. As you can see, it's gone hard. Now the top layer has gone white, but you can see that at the bottom, if you just have a closer look there, it is darker. What's happened is the oil, the cocoa butter, has come to the top. Now if you don't want that to happen, have a layer of white on top, put it in the freezer. We put it in the fridge. So anyway, there you go. What we're going to do now is just going to, I haven't got my cameraman here today, so I have to do all this by myself. cameraman's taking a break. As you can see, there's the chocolate. I'm going to do what I'm going to now. People who cook, I'm on a tradition, I'm going to eat it. I don't need to say anything else.